Alright, so welcome back. This is one heck of a day to kind of see the car in this way. It actually looks like it's a car. Looking pretty good. Let's see, let's go over what I did over the weekend. There wasn't enough pedal movement in the clutch. So what I ended up doing was pulling the transmission out and putting in a couple shims, and then I threw that back in. Of course, I made a mess of the concrete with tranny fluid dumping everywhere, but that was what it was. Then on the rear, I finished pulling off out of the parking brakes, out of the rear hubs. They kind of interfere with the bolts for the wheels, because the bolts are a little bit long on these wheels, and then just about right with the drag slicks on. So they kind of interfered with them, and we weren't going to use them anyways, and they're hanging up and not releasing on the, so I just wiped them all out. Then I got all the brakes bled, all the brake lines run, so I should hypothetically have brakes. Oh yeah, we got brakes. All right, so I made a couple of revisions to the little support here. Added a piece of straight steel. That way it doesn't move at all, because it had a little bit of wiggle going on in. So then we kind of hit these little edges with some paint so we didn't get super rust going on. And then I started working on kind of finalizing the shape and finish of the front bumper piece. That, of course, is over here, and everything is pretty much looking decent. It's like, as I'm looking at everything on this, it has definitely seen some better days. And with this plastic, once you hammer it really hard, you're never going to get it to look perfect again, unless you were to start off with a completely new bumper cover. But we're not going to do that, because who knows what we're going to smash this thing into once we start racing it around. So we are just going to get it close and stick with our concept that this is a 10-foot car. It'll look great from 10 feet. Any closer than that might be a little on the sketchy side. But that's kind of how you want your race cars, because you wouldn't necessarily want to race a show car, and you wouldn't really want to show a race car. So, where does that leave us for the rest of today? Well, there's one more little addition that I would like to make over here, and that would be, since we removed all the hood popping hardware and all that type of stuff, I think we need some sort of hood pin. So I picked up some of these relatively cheap aluminum things. They should get the job done. And we shouldn't really have to worry about much of anything. So we are going to have to figure out where to mount these guys. So I'm going to come in here right up here where we have this hood section. We've got some other sections here. You could go like directly in front of it is an option, but there's not much there. So if we go directly over, that's a little better case. So we can pretty much just grab ourselves a marking device and we can scribe whereabouts they need to be. Just whack a couple holes in this thing. Now I'm kind of wondering if I'm not too sure if I actually need these guys since we have these other rubber stoppers. So I want to see if we can yank these out. I need something other than big and dumb. Now, we just go for broke and hope for the best. Well, we are pretty close. Alright, so I essentially got the main holes up in the hood made in the approximate area. And of course we just fire up the grinder and try to get it aligned a little more with what we're aiming for. Alright, so as you can tell, we're pretty much in there. We'll just have to figure out where. These guys go. And of course, like everything that I do, everything's going to be slightly not ideal. Why would I expect anything different? Alright, so something along the lines of that. Okay. Essentially, that's that. Alright, so I got them in their final position. And when we go and shut the lid, there we go. And then we just grab our clip. That one's in. That one's in. That hood's not going anywhere. So yeah, that's not looking too terrible. I'm pretty sure there's professionals that are going to laugh at this thing, but hey, it is what it is. I'm doing what I feel like doing. So, now that we got our hood all anchored up, we can start in for our next video. So, either way, thanks for stopping by for this video. And make sure to subscribe and that stuff for the next video because it's definitely going to be something. So, once again, thanks for stopping by and we will have to see you later.